Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 320, which is crazy. As without spoiling too much, I can just say that Blue Lock has pretty much sealed the deal of this match already, but you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, please leave a like and a comment as well, and subscribe to my other channels down in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, starting off this chapter, also called Hero or Death, we start with seeing a flashback into the changing rooms before the second half began. In there, Isagi told everyone that they should change up their tactics in the second half and test out a new pattern. He looks serious as he says that when it comes time to counter, they won't build up with everyone like before, and that instead, it will center on RIN and himself passing back and forth, and they will tear right up the center, while everyone else is free to try for their own goals, calling it their variable no-top system. And as we get back into the match, we can clearly see that this new pattern has the Nigerian team panicking, as they can't believe what is going on, as they say that the double aces are building up, and they wonder if they are gonna counter by themselves. Also in this panel, we saw Kuso being useless like always. Anyway, as Isagi and RIN are crushing the Nigerian team all by themselves, we then get into 30 days ago to RIN's special training. Here we see some monk telling RIN to empty his mind and to visualize the void. RIN in his own head saying it over and over again, but as he tries to empty his head, two small figures of Sei and Isagi pops up in his head. Isagi looks happy as he says that he is number one. Meanwhile, Sei looks like usual and just calls RIN tepid. This makes RIN lose it as he starts getting angry. But just then, the monk puts RIN in his place as he smacks him with a stick, telling RIN not to think of any worthless impediments and to instead be calm, correct, and have control. He then stops screaming at RIN and tells him to release his fixations and that he must find his true essential mind. RIN looks back at him while looking pissed as he thinks that it's impossible. We then see two shadow silhouettes around him, still of Isagi and Sei. However, RIN says that if it wasn't for them, then he wouldn't be who he is now. He thinks back to his childhood and says that his true essential mind is wanting to destroy Isagi and Sei. But the ego he uncovered behind that impulse was that he wanted to score goals while destroying himself, and that anything that interferes with that is just an impediment. We then see RIN getting attacked by two players, but somehow he is still able to send the ball over to Bachira, who just had to show off with an insane trap. But he then starts to smirk and says that it's time for another point. We then also see Ego on the bench as he says that this is it, as he calls them his lumps of talent and then says that to humanity's instincts, soccer is a form of hunting and that strikers are the heroes who strike down their prey, and he ends it by calling it an absolute truth. Anyway, we then see Bachira, who looks ecstatic as he fires off a shot towards the goal. However, I can't believe it as Oboabona actually does something in this game as he is there to stop the ball with his head. Bachira obviously gets a bit annoyed by this block, but the ball then rolls over on the pitch, and Ego then continues his little speech by saying that the one with the most suitable abilities and mental fortitude can become the world's greatest striker, and that therefore they must test their egos to see if they reach the level of heroism. Anyway, now that he is done talking for a bit, we saw that the ball went to Hiyori, who right off the bat shoots towards the goal, but it sadly ends up getting blocked by the keeper. But fear not, as the ball rolls over to the future #1 striker of Blue Lock, Chigiri, who fires off a mighty shot towards the goal, which just had to get blocked by Onatsi. After that, a no-name from the Nigerian team tells everyone that Blue Lock keeps coming, while Bello compliments Onatsi's block. More no-names then start speaking as they say that if they don't get the ball, they aren't going to stop. However, after that, we finally move over to one of the GOATs, who is RIN, who thinks about his brother, his rival, and the title of becoming the world's best. Hey, it's Natsu, mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? He says that those labels assigned by someone else are just impediments. Just had to stop his speech to say that his pass here looks absolutely fire. Anyway, now back to RIN, who says that to purify his desire, he needs to remove the limiters on his urge to destroy, and that the state can't be a sudden rampage, as he needs to make it a default setting, and that he doesn't need his tongue hanging out to go into beast mode. Before going over to his beast mode, we see that Isagi passed the ball over to Bachira, who gets it easily and then starts to smile as he says that here comes the wild beast, which in this case is none other than RIN, who is rushing with full speed while looking almost possessed as he has his full rage aura out and even his eyes are starting to flare up. We also see Isagi by the side, who has his meta vision eyes out and is not going to go down without a fight. Moving on from him, we get over to Onazi, who looks to be in total awe as he says that RIN and Isagi were cooperating in the build-up, but now they are going off on their own. However, As he takes another look around the field, he sees that it's not just them, as all of them are trying for goals, and he questions who he is supposed to stop. We see Isagi and RIN looking extra fired up as Bachira gets into a passing position, as he says that he sees someone, and just like that, he fires off the ball towards the box, as Bello had no chance of stopping it. We see both RIN and Isagi having company by Onatsi, as well as Obo Abona, but still they are both rushing towards the spot of the incoming pass. The goalkeeper, Agbim, says that it's just as he thought and that it's the double aces that are breaking through. After that, we see Isagi fully locked in as he says that he already knew that RIN was coming. However, that's no use as the ball's trajectory is headed here and he's on track to reach it a moment before him, saying with full confidence that everything is going according to his plan. But we then get into RIN's head, who has firstly his predator eyes out in full action as he says Isagi's name, and that if he uses his logic to turn himself into a tool for victory, then he will give himself over to pleasure and sell his soul to adrenaline. With that, we see RIN crashing into Isagi's back, which makes Isagi's puzzle pieces scatter around like crazy as he is in total confusion, but RIN himself just slides on Isagi's back and is starting to get into a shooting stance, while he is getting ready to fire off an insane shot. We see a small panel of ego saying that RIN has reached it. He has reached the will to live as a hero with no fear of death. With that said, we see RIN shooting away the ball, which bounces onto the ground before going straight into the back of the net, which makes the whole crowd starting to cheer as RIN has scored his first goal this match, but also given Japan a 3-goal lead, as both Isagi and RIN get back on the ground. We see Isagi looking slightly annoyed, but still very fired up as he calls RIN a freak and says hero or death, and asks if he is correct. RIN actually looks kind of wholesome as he just has his tongue out towards Isagi, and says that he has cleared his impediments and awoken his essence. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the chapter, but fear not, as we know the title of the next chapter, which will be called Relentless, which, honestly, is not much to go off, as I mean, that's just a basic word. However, I'm excited to find out what it can entail. Also, I've got some great news, as there is no break next week, which means that the heat from Blue Lock will continue next week. Anyway, with that said, let's talk about this chapter real quick, and honestly, I don't think the chapter can get any better. Firstly, we got this awesome looking panel. Like, I love the panels when they give us like a whole overview of the field. It just looks so satisfying and cool. After that, we legit got to see Bachira, Hiyori, and Chigiri all taking a shot towards the goal, which is just awesome, as this is exactly what Blue Lock is about. It's about everyone just doing what they want and trying to score, and I love that they keep showing that side of the team. Also, I was happily surprised to see Hiyori taking a shot, which I wasn't really ready for, but I'm so here for it. Now we just need to give Karasu his chance. And yeah, I know that he is far back, but it's Blue Lock after all, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see him taking a shot, or even going as far as scoring soon. On that, let's move on to the actual goal, which was just amazing. RIN just going over and sliding on Isagi to reach the ball first is such an aura thing to do. Of course, I love a RIN goal, and I'm not unhappy about it. However, I would have loved an Isagi goal as well. But if they decide to save his goal for a future match, then I can't complain. But just like Isagi, I really want to see a Chigiri goal now. If they end it with a Chigiri goal, then this is pure cinema for me. And on that topic, I actually do feel like this match can't keep going on for that much longer, as I mean, Blue Lock are just going crazy, and there's no chance that Nigeria actually manages to turn this around. Fine, they might score 1 goal, but I don't think that there will be much after that. So with that said, I do only see this match continuing for max like 5 chapters, as I feel like we need to get ready and into the England match soon. But let me know how much more you believe that this match will be going on for, and more importantly, what you thought about this chapter. So please rate it 1 through 10. I myself would give it a strong 8. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.